Hello, ACO reader. Welcome to this deep dive of Georgetown University, the McDonough School of Business. Today, we're joined by Shannon Comolli, an MBA student there. Shannon, thanks for coming today.
Hi, Sam. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're super excited. We love doing these deep dives. We love learning more about your programs. So to kind of get us started, I'll kick it over to Spencer to tee this thing up.
Yeah. So if you've watched any of our other deep dives, you know this is really about putting ourselves in your shoes, and my job and Sam's job is to ask Shannon the questions that you, the prospective Georgetown student, might want to ask. And you get a lot of information through the website, and you can do informational all that, but this is really helpful. And so thank you, Shannon, for joining us and answering these questions. Let me start this off by asking you, what does it mean? And this is a pretty open question. What does it mean to be a real estate student at the McDonough School of Business? Like, what does that mean in practice, in terms of your curriculum, in terms of activities, in terms of how maybe you're separated from the class in some way? Like, what does it mean to be a real estate student there?
Yeah, so for a real estate student at Georgetown McDonough School of Business, you can kind of come into the program with no real estate experience. You can come in like myself with some real estate background. And there's actually quite a bit of course offerings, which is, I think, a very large amount compared to most MBA programs. So there's 8 courses that are offered there. There's public, private, equity, and debt. They're kind of the 4 main framework classes that are offered. And then we have an intensive learning experience, which is in the spring semester, where you do a full week-long development course with Avalon Bay, and you actually have the C-suite execs come in and teach the course to you. The other courses that we have offered there are 3 real estate clinics, which really focus on the experiential learning that the real estate center focuses on. And so what that is we have a relationship with Invesco, who provides their proprietary model and allows us to look at recent deals that they've looked at. And we actually put together an investment committee memo and actually look at the deal, we analyze it, we underwrite it, and we get to do that for all different property types. So we do that for multifamily, we do it for office, for retail, industrial. And so we are able to focus on actually applying the real estate knowledge that we're learning in the classroom. And the last one we do is real estate entrepreneurship. So we get, for people that are looking to maybe start real estate business on their own after graduating, or maybe down the road, we offer that class as well. So it's a great opportunity.
Great. So a lot of application, which is big. You think that school is all academic, but it sounds like McDonough has put a focus on true application, especially as you're engaging with Avalon Bay or with some other. What was the other one you said? Invesco. Yeah, with Invesco. So that's phenomenal. So in terms of like concentration or at least declaring a track, is that a situation? Or so talk to us through about like course credits and how many credits have to be real estate specific, and then is there a concentration or a declaration, or is it more you develop your own track? How does that work?
Yeah, so with the McDonough School of Business right now, there's no concentration specifically, but one of the things that we like to focus on is we have the Georgetown Real Estate Society, which is one of the larger groups on campus, and that's just a big component of the business program if you're focusing on real estate. So in that, we offer CRE 101s, where we'll have alumni or top industry leaders come in and teach specific courses on whether it's development or if it's private equity or just valuation in general. We also do a lot of treks and events where we'll go and visit New York or LA or Colombia or anywhere that actually the students coming in, if they want to go, it's something that is an opportunity where if they have a specific location they're interested in, there's a potential to do a trek there. We also do other speaker series. We have the McBride lecture series, where we have other top execs coming in. So there's definitely a lot of opportunities. While there's no specific concentration at this point, there's definitely a lot of opportunities to further your real estate education, as well as doing in-semester internships in the DC area.
Yeah, so let's continue that on that track. So now we're getting outside the classroom. We're talking extracurricular real estate opportunities, externships, internships. You'd mentioned the Steers Center for Business. Talk to us a little bit more about, or Center for Real Estate, I guess, or
Yep.
probably butchering the name. So correct me there, but talk to us a little bit about the Steers Center and what that offers and how you integrate as a real estate student at McDonough into the center.
Yeah, so Bob Steers made a huge donation for the Steers Center for Global Real Estate a few years ago, and it's actually been an incredible opportunity for students that come here, whether it's undergrad or for the business degree. And they just have a complete deep commitment to furthering the education of the students at Georgetown, and then also to really get that experiential learning. So there's definitely a tremendous support from them, whether it's through the alumni network or through opportunities of doing these treks. We definitely have an opportunity to explore many avenues that the students want to explore.
Yeah, that's interesting. So let's talk a little bit about, so you mentioned treks. Generally speaking, is there a region where most jobs are available to Georgetown students, or do you find that it's global? Talk to us a little about both in terms of the reach of the program into regions from a career standpoint, and then you might bring up the trek. Are these treks in the Northeast, or are you doing treks globally or domestically? Talk to us a little bit about both of those.
Yeah, so we pride ourselves because we're in DC, we're a global hub for business. And so we have international treks. We do the London treks, we do the LA treks, we're doing New York. And like I said, we did Colombia, we did San Francisco. So there's definitely an opportunity internationally, and it's driven by the interest of the students. So if you have a focus coming into the school and you say, hey, I want to be in Asia, or I want to be in Europe, or I want to be on the West Coast, there's an opportunity for you to be able to get a group of students together and potentially go to that location or do calls with certain alumni. Job locations for most students are in DC or New York. That's just kind of where we see most of the students going. But we have alumni all across the US and internationally as well.
Yeah, so talk to us about the alumni. That's a big component to graduate real estate business schools, right? You want an alumni base that's going to support you. What's been your experience with Georgetown alumni, specifically real estate alumni?
Yeah, for Georgetown real estate alumni, I've been blown away. So we have the Georgetown Real Estate Alliance, which is made up of a lot of alumni of the school and of the program. But I've just been impressed by the willingness of the alumni to be receptive to students reaching out, whether it's through a coffee chat or if we want to just do a phone call or just asking advice about, what type of, what part of the industry students should go in. So I've definitely been blown away by how willing the alumni are to offer their help and support to the students. We were able to do a trek to New York, and a lot of the top companies we were able to go to were all alumni of Georgetown, whether it was from the business program or from the undergrad program. So that's definitely something I think that sets the Georgetown business program apart.
Yeah, great. So social life. I mean, this is a big question that people have. And so you're in Washington, D.C. What does that mean in terms of living? Do most students tend to live close to campus, or is there a commute that's involved? And then what's the social life like? Are you engaging with people outside of the McDonough School, or is it largely you're focused on building relationships within the cohort? So talk to us a little bit about your experience there.
Yeah, so most of the students actually live in DuPont Circle and Roslyn. So there's free shuttles that are offered, which is great. I'm in Roslyn right now, and it's 5 minutes over the bridge, and I'm on campus. DuPont, it's about 10 minutes by shuttle, and you're on campus. But DuPont's a great location. So there's a lot of restaurants, there's a lot of bars, a lot of nightlife in the area. So a lot of students live over there. And in terms of socializing, we have our GRES, we do the Real Estate Society, we have a lot of events, we have happy hours, we have dinners. But other than that, you're actually socializing with your cohorts and other classmates. So there's a lot of crossover. There's no, you're sticking to one specific group on campus. Within the program, you get to meet up with a lot of different people.
And is there a specific real estate track that most students are taking? I mean, are they looking at private equity? Are they looking at development, asset management, debt? Do you see a common track, or is it more broad than that?
I think the track actually, it changes year over year. So it depends on the students that are coming in. So I think last year we saw a lot of people focused on development. Myself, I'm going into real estate private equity. I know that some people graduate in there in banking and asset management. So it definitely varies year by year. And then it's kind of the sky's the limit as to which group you want to be in. There's opportunities with alumni for all aspects of the real estate industry.
Yeah, and with the practical application, it sounds like you're getting in your courses. You could go a variety of tracks, and
yeah,
it sounds like you'll get the learning that you need.
And also, Spencer, too, the opportunities of doing those in-semester internships gives students a lot of opportunity to see if that's a track that they want to do. So people are doing development internships in last spring semester, and they're seeing, this is something I really do want to continue with, or they're seeing maybe I'll start to look at real estate private equity or some other aspect.
Yeah, and that's one of the advantages of being in a larger city. I chose a small city for other reasons, but the advantage to a larger city is you can do those mid-semester, we call them externships or whatever you want to call it, but to kind of a mini internship and get some exposure to maybe a role that you're less familiar with. So that's great. What would you say? And we're kind of winding down the time. What would you say would be the biggest differentiator that Georgetown as a both an MBA but also a real estate program has compared to the other options that exist out there?
Yeah, so I definitely think the ability to be in an urban location where you can get access to a lot of these alumni and you can get access to doing these internships during the school year is huge, especially for those that are thinking about switching careers and their career pivoters. It's an opportunity for you to get firsthand exposure to the real estate industry and actually be, in the thick of things. And it's a great opportunity for students. I'd also say for real estate specifically, again, with the Steer Center for Global Real Estate, you can come in and really create your own path. So if you have a desire to learn about real estate private equity, there's definitely access to do that through our CRE 101s or through different treks or other opportunities there. If you have a desire to change markets and you want to do a different trek, there's opportunities there. It's not a rigid structure that we stick to. We definitely listen to the students coming in and we change our events and kind of shift around based off of interests of the students and the career path that they want to take.
Great. Well, Shannon, thank you so much. Let's close this out before we kick it back to Sam with one last question. And we've asked this actually of the other deep dive interviewees. As you look back to your first year at Georgetown, so you're going into your second year now, and you had that first year. In terms of real estate experiences, what was most memorable in that first year? What was the one thing that you did is you look back and you go, wow, that was an incredible experience?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think I mentioned it earlier, but getting to go to the Washington Nationals game, especially the year they won the World Series, it was incredible to see them play, but also to be with the other students in the Real Estate Society and then also the alumni, and made a lot of connections through that event that just kicked off the fall semester, and just had a great experience, was really able to connect with people and get to know them better and carry on those relationships throughout the rest of my career here at Georgetown, and I know I'll carry them on through the rest of my career in real estate. Yeah,
I love that. An informal way to connect with alumni. Too often it's via some speaker or what have you, but to be able to just go to a game and rub shoulders with those individuals, that's phenomenal. Well, thank you again, Shannon. This has been really helpful. I'm sure that those who are watching and listening will find this equally as valuable. Sam, kick it back to you.
Yeah, no, Shannon, thanks again. As a baseball fan, I can totally appreciate that. I mean, that would have been great. I would love to go to that stadium one of these days. But yeah, if you are a reader, hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you on the next article.